I wanted to start with, you made a very interesting French cop movie, and I was wondering, are you a fan of the French gangster film director Jean-Pierre Melville?
I like very much Melville.
Yeah?
Yes, because it's a way very stylish, very not naturalistic. It's really, yes, Melville, director that I appreciate very much, with Alain Delon in many...
Le Samurai.
Le Samurai is beautiful because it's a tension, but it's a metaphysical tension. It's not action like we see film usually.
Sure.
It's stylisé, stylish.
Very deliberate.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that in your movie a little bit too, even though it's doing a different thing.
Yeah. That's true.
Did you research in the police, area from, I don't know, where, somewhere, Paris, or how they work, how they, would behave, do little things,
Of course, it's very important when you are going to tell a story like that to be from inside, to know how it works, because you know, but you don't know if you don't go there. And it was very difficult to be able to go there because of the terrorism. They closed all the commissariat for nobody could enter. But I met an intellectual policeman who is a kind of intellectual of anti-terrorism, and he liked the story, and he helped me to be inside of this, in French, c'est commissariat.
Precinct.
And I discover from inside. He present me to the people. There was 200. It was a very big commissariat in Paris, and I could stay there a long time, only doing nothing, drinking, only looking at the persons who speak together. Many women, and after also he proposed to me to make me shoot with a gun. I say, I am director, it's not very important for me to know. He says, yes, it's important for you to feel the difference of to be existentiellement avec une arme or without. And that's true. It was the first day I met him. I thought maybe he's a mad guy. I was a little afraid. And after that, he helped me also for the actors, for the action, but the interior meanings, no, of course, because it's a way to tell the story. But yes, I say that he's a kind of philosopher of the police.
Were you surprised of some things that you think, oh, like this?
I was surprised. The first thing is that it's middle age when you go to the police station. It's so destroyed, so dirty, so ugly, and what surprised me also that there are many gays who are policemen, many women, and it gives a little hope that it's not only guys that says everything is square, and they are, of course, they have, but there are also persons more interesting and more subtle and more ambiguous. They are not all, even if my movie it's not this story, because it's not to make a sociological picture of the police, because it's 3 characters, but it's important to be true on the roots.
Would you say that your movie has a female approach, or is it kind of a cliche?
Do you think that my movie has a female approach? I am a transgender. I am a female, a man, homosexual. I think it's a segregation to speak about movie from women, movie from gays, women from heterosexual. It could be done by a man, you know. The thing is that this character, women character, she's the girl who begins to transgress the orders and to be courageous, to try to not to obey at the usual rules. It's this woman that does that, but it could be a man also. It's not because you are a woman that you are more sensitive, more everything.
You have a little bit of machismo, yeah, I mean, almost Miss Norvège, things like that. I guess that's reality too.
Yes, that's a way to be ironic on machism, light machism, because he has charm, and of course we see that he's more subtle than that, but they can say that these kind of things in the offices. Not only in police offices, in other offices.
Oui, et je voudrais demander...
en français.
Oui, c'est mieux pour moi. J'ai vu que vous avez deux films sur la population LGBT, par exemple Marvin et Nettoyage à sec, mais ça dure 20 ans entre les deux films. Et vous avez l'idée pour troisième film LGBT?
J'ai fait aussi Perfect Mothers, I have done. And
okay.
It was not LGBT, but it was sexual... very special between two mothers and the two sons.
Okay.
It was a quatuor, neo-incestuous. It's a Doris Lessing novel that I adapted in Australia. And your question, it is if LGBT, the next, not LGBT, but the next character that I am fascinated by, he has no sexuality. It's another thing. It's Ravel. We are going to do a movie about Bolero, and behind this Bolero, which is the music the most famous in the world and the most amazing, there is a man who is like a Michael Jackson of these times, and he has no sex.
Wow.
Your movie deals with this, with the topic of immigration that is very, very crucial, very important in today all over the world. And also yesterday, Les Miserables won the César. It also deals with the same topic from the immigration side. Do you think that cinema can make a difference in people's views towards this topic?
I think cinema has to be not didactic, because the most deep way to touch people is to let them feel and choose what they think by themselves, because they are intelligent. I don't like when a movie says a message very, you have to think that or to feel that. But of course, when you see this man who is a man who has a life so difficult, and he will be killed in his country if he goes to the plane. It speaks about humanity and about this horrible thing that to be in refugee camps and to wait to come back in the country. But it's a very important thème, c'est un thème très important qui concerne beaucoup de pays et c'est complexe. Là ce qui m'intéressait, c'était le côté comment on a le courage ou pas, le point de vue moral, qu'est-ce qu'on fait, et c'est ça qui est intéressant, c'est la question métaphysique de qu'est-ce qu'on fait alors que normalement on vit caché derrière des vestes, des uniformes, voilà.
Yes, I think that this is really something that transcends the borders, and is really something that is also that can be applied to lots of countries, in the sense that it's a very complex issue, and this is what I'm really interested in, is to look at how you can come to a point where you can muster that courage, where you can find that courage, where you can also face that moral dilemma, if you will, that question about what to do, and to really get to this point was what interested me also with this film. And I think that it is a metaphysical question also in that sense, also about what happens, when we don't hide behind our uniforms or the rules and the sets that are set.
Okay, actually, in France, we talk a lot about the police, especially the violence or the brutality of the police. That's the problem today.
Yes.
But of course, this is the adaptation of the book. But do you think this film, how can I say, poser la question au public, parce que le film montre la humanité de police, justement.
But it's not generally speaking. It's not a movie that speaks about the generosity of the police. That's not right. It is in this story something that is different in their job. This kind of police, they never do this kind of job. They are on the neighbor, and they never put this kind of mission. It's because there is the fire. And it was something real 8 years ago. This fire, very big fire, and they need people who could help them, and they didn't know where they go. They know where they go, but the Virginie Efira character says at the beginning that she discovers that she has to do this job, and she says, "But we were not paid to do that." And it's not speaking about generally about police. It will be very naive to think that police is something generally speaking. No, it's this story. It's about these three characters who has another kind of mission that happily, because she has to, the morning after she has to go abortion, she has a fragility this night that it's different. Maybe one day before she didn't open the book about the Tajik guy. It's very fragile. Why she does that? She's not a good thinking girl. She is a professional, and to be professional, it's to be blind, not looking. And because she has something in her difficult, she looks at him, at this foreigner person, but foreigner, it means l'étranger au sens profond du terme, pas seulement l'étranger parce qu'il est d'une autre nationalité, c'est vraiment la personne qu'on ne connaît pas. Avec tout ce que ça comporte de peur, de questionnement. Et donc, c'est ça qui m'intéressait. C'est qu'une petite chose qui est un peu ouverte, une enveloppe, tout d'un coup, elle fait ça. Et ça fait que ça amène à la situation qui suit.
Yes, and I think what interested me was the idea of the stranger, the foreigner, but not in a deeper sense, not just simply like somebody coming from a different country in that sense, but rather in a deeper sense the unknown other as well, and the kind of questions that raises as well, the fear that might also bring about, and questions that we ask ourselves, and that was what really interested me. There's this fine moment actually where she just flips open the file, which is a small gesture, but this small gesture opens up a crack, if you will, in that world. And that was really what interested me. And it produces all these effects.
I was wondering, how do you generally coach actors, specifically with this project? What kind of advice were you giving them reoccurring?
I don't give advice. I first make a choice, because I think to direct, it's 17% to know how to choose the actors for the parts, and it's something complicated sometimes, because it's not to think that it's obvious that it's the better choice. When I chose Virginie, it was on my mind since the beginning. I knew her. I think she is like the girl next door, but with the charisma more than a girl banal. She has this way very subtle to express feelings. She's one today in France of the actresses the most interesting because she's very close to us, because she seems like everybody, and she has this way, very subtle, yes, to be with interiority. Omar Sy, it begins like I met him like directly, without script, without nothing, without phones, without 1 hour in front of me, and because I thought that a black cup will be more interesting for this story, to make reflection with the Tajik, that he could be at the place of the Tajik if he will be not a policeman. And what I felt in front of him when he's not laughing, because in most of the movies they make him laugh, when he stays inside of his face, I felt something very true and very fragile and very soft, and he moved me, and we spoke about our countries, about not cinema, and I worked with him very precisely before the shooting, and I said to him, you don't have to laugh. He laughs 2 or 3 times at the beginning, but it's very important to be in another way to express. And I thought he was sexy with her. The couple was sexy, and that we like this couple, even if they are not, of course, allowed to have this relationship. But at my UC Marvin, and the father of Marvin is this actor that plays Eric, and for me nowadays he's one of the most important French actor you will see, because he's going to be everywhere, not everywhere because he's not stupid to do too much, but he has, for me, a quality amazing, that he could be tough, violent, with humanity, and he's very moving. For me, I love this actor. I think he has a lot of like Depardieu was at the beginning, a long time ago.
At the beginning, you have the same scene, which is seen from different vantage points, from the point of view of the various actors, the 3 policemen.
It is the same day from each character point of view. I thought it was interesting to make the viewer in this kind of complicity, the way each one has problems, one with alcohol, the other one with the grandmother, the other one with the doctor of the fact that she's going to have abortion, and to have the same scenes but a little one, a piece of one, for example, and the second part it's in the other point of view. It was a way to be more with more proximity when you are in the car with them and you go to the center. You have something about them, and I thought it was a way, yes, to be ludique,
playful.
How do you say?
Playful.
I'm wondering, you're a very deliberate and seemingly serious person. How do you pitch to producers? Are you the same way?
I am like I am. I don't know. I am direct because I believe in what I propose, and I was always to be director. You have to be determined, very determined, and also with doubt. And this balance between the doubts, you understand?
Yeah.
And
with doubt.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
And that's a balance, and sometimes you have more doubts than determination, and sometimes more determination. But I was a ballet dancer very young, and when you have done that, you have the discipline to work.
Interesting.
Can I have one last question? The Caesars, les Césars, were a little bit controversial this year. Maybe you want to. Did you have? I mean, I don't know. Do you have a comment on this, or you don't want to?
I don't have comment. I was not there, and.
But was it okay to give the best
prize, the best?
What do you think?
For Polanski, I think yes, because we have the work and we have the man.
Because work and man, it's two things different. Because if we don't think that, we have to say that the best French writers, André Gide, Louis Ferdinand Céline, anti-Semitism, there are so many things that has to be. It's mixed sometimes. It doesn't mean that it's good, but it means that when you are an artist, you some of them have mixed things that are terrible. But I am not the politically correct. It's also an obsession now, and we have to be careful. It's what I say. It's fantastic that I am completely, of course, for the fact that the women can express themselves, that they are on violence, and that it's very, very, very important. And when you are a woman, you feel positive about that. But it's different to make that everything has to be clean, and to be politically. I agree with you. If the movie was done, or it has not to be done. Just at the beginning, the people have to say no, never. He will be not a director. But it's done. It's
Merci.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.